Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I'm excited. We're going to do this. We're finally going to get it done with the one and only indomitable Jessica Dawson. We're going to talk about FISK. FISK is a mobile tipping technology, a mobile technology where she's going to share all of the impetus behind that. I think it's going to be world changing, certainly going to empower people in a financial way that you would never, ever think about. But thankfully, Jessica and her team did. Welcome, Jessica. How you doing today?
I am doing phenomenal. Ted, I wanted to thank you for having me on the show. I look forward to explaining FISK mobile tipping and everything that we're working forward and looking forward to this year.
You are working hard. That I know for sure. Every time I see you or talk to you, you have flown somewhere, done something, talked to a group. I mean, I think it's amazing what you're doing. Before we get into FISK, though, tell them just a little bit about you and your background, because I think people love to get to know the person behind FISK.
So I'm a native Orlandoanian. I grew up here. I went to the University of Florida, studied real estate and urban analysis, heavy finance. Came out, did not go into real estate. I actually landed up at Home Depot, learned a lot about the corporate world, saw some interesting things. That is where I came up with the mobile application. But I do real estate. I also have my insurance license, but the fintech company is my bread and butter. That's FISK Mobile Tipping. But I also am a life coach, and I also have a production company where we have a show which we would like to have Ted on later on. But that's another story.
I mean, so many stories. Look at all the hats you wear. Look at all of the
Yes.
projects. I love that. I think it's in this day and age, you've got to have your hands in a lot of things because it helps all of your businesses. It helps everything that you do. Tell me a little bit about the impetus behind FISK. You said you got the idea while you were working at Home Depot.
When I was working at Home Depot in and out of management, in management, I noticed that to motivate associates, the only thing I could do was to give them a merit badge, a good write up, which didn't do a lot, or they put a name on a plaque. There's not a lot of motivation. Now, when they aren't performing, you've got to put documentation down and you've got to use negative energy. And if they're not motivated, they're not going to work hard. They don't have anything. And that was one reason why that's a different part of FISK. That is called the bonus program. But I actually, as an associate, wanted something that the management could give me to motivate me to do something. And at the same time, if a customer I give a great customer service, I wanted to be able to receive a tip. And if you know anything about working at Home Depot or any of these big box retail places, some of the local stores, you're not allowed to take tips and gratuity. It's frowned upon. But, if you do something that they don't expect and they appreciate you and they're willing to do it, I don't see why you couldn't. But it's against SOP, which is standard operating procedure, and you could get fired.
Wow.
Now, I had actually stepped out of management and was back at associate level. And I was helping the younger generations or new associates come on. And I was signing up for the 401k. And one day I gave great customer service to somebody and they wanted to tip me. They couldn't do it. So I stepped back from the counter after that gentleman had left and the light bulb went off. To make a tipping and gratuity application that you could take money in a traditional area as a server or a bartender, but also in a customer service area, which is not really heard about that much. But it motivates people if you can get money from a tip.
Well, I think you did so much more with it, and I want to talk about that. But I love the idea behind that because there's so many times where I'm out and about, and even if I am allowed to give a tip, I don't usually have cash if it's if it's not a restaurant or a bar. And so I'm struggling going, what am I going to do? How can I take care of this person? Valet is one of the ones I think of off the top of my head. Constantly, I'm like, I never have any cash. Stacy won't let me carry cash. For it, she knows I'll spend it. So I don't have it, but I want to tip them.
Yes.
And so I love this concept. And especially like if you do have an SOP, and I have seen companies, people will say, I can't take a tip at all. Well, that I still want to give them something. So
Yeah.
I think the idea is brilliant, but you developed it more. This is more than just, hey, here's a tip. Talk
Yes.
about that. I think that side of it, well, the first side's genius, but this side is impacting generational wealth and teaching people things.
This is the main part that separates us all from any other application that is out there, because we resemble a peer-to-peer payment platform like Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. But if we used one of those, money goes from point A to point B and works perfectly, because that's what we've all intended to do all our lives, and that's all we've known. But with FISK mobile tipping, the money goes from me to them in splits. Our smallest split that we have on the application is a 95-5 split. And to make the math really easy, I'm going to say, Ted, I'm going to tip you $100. So if I sent that $100 to Ted, it would go through the split. $95 would land on their virtual debit card that we issue, so they could go use it point of sale. And the other $5 or 5% is going to land in the investment account of their choosing that they link up to the mobile application. And if they go down right now, they will be able to link up from any investment firm, from the big ones like Charles Schwab, Merrill Lynch, TD Ameritrade. They could link their long-term investment account. I've studied all of them. I can't give advice. I've got to tell people that we don't give advice until we get that license. But I have mine hooked up to a Roth IRA. And Ted, if you did the same thing, and I went to tip you, am I not technically altering your future?
That's right.
And
it's amazing. Keep going. I love this concept so much.
If we do it countrywide, and we're helping out the people that have their financial literacy, they didn't get it in high school, and we're showing them compound interest going into an account. We are teaching people what they need to do and sending money into the future. I look at our economy. I'm not really pleased with the way anybody has run our country in the last, since I've been paying attention in college. The government is constantly pulling money from the future. And when we get there, we're broke. And if everybody is sending money into the future with this mobile application, well, when we get there, you'll have money. So it's a different look on things. Yes, I look at a lot of different things. We need to assist our fellow man, and this is a great way to do it, through gratitude. When someone does something nice, you can give them gratitude through this app, and it alters not only this timeline where they get to spend some money, it alters their future person. And that's where my co-founder came up with the concept, some for you now and some more for you later.
Love that. And I think one of the things that prohibits or precludes people from doing any kind of investment is, first, there's a lot of misinformation out there. You have to be rich to be an investor. You're intimidated. It can be intimidating for people to work with somebody at an investment bank or talk about it, because they feel like they have to have so much knowledge. What FISK does is, once they have the account set up, they make the choice. And so it's almost a no-brainer for them, which is helpful for people. I think that will take down the barrier of people going, well, I don't want to walk into a Schwab office because I'm this or that, or I don't have enough money to save. But you're faced with it. If you get a $20 tip, or let's say a $100 tip, you can do as little as 5% of that $100. So put 95 in your pocket and $5 into the investment account. What a blessing that is, even in the short term, of building up the confidence and knowing that you're working on this nest egg for your future.
Now, our MVP, and not everybody knows what an MVP is. It's a minimal viable product, which is what you release to the general public. And it is going to be raw when it hits the market. It's not going to have every bell and whistle that I want to have. There are so many things that we have planned. We've got over a 5-year roadmap with this thing, and different features but it is all designed to help my fellow Americans and anybody who uses the mobile application. Because if we're in a debt-based society, I don't like the way everybody is. We run on debt. We need to teach the younger generation, and especially the Gen Zs and the Gen As, about finance, and they're only going to use digital currency. They're not going to use cash. So in order to get them on board, you got to meet them where they are. And a lot of, I hate to say it, people my age and a little above are not moving over to digital currency. They're worried about it. And I'm like, we've got to do it. We need to do both. We need to explain people multiple ways, but the digital currency is coming, and it's here. And FISK jumps on boards and is designed to teach financial literacy, why people are building wealth.
So tell me, as we start to wrap up, tell me when the raw launch is. When can people take a sneak peek now, or will the raw launch be the first time that they can actually see how it functions?
There is a very mild demo. It does not on Apple and Google Play. That was an older demo. We are looking right now. It's the raising the capital that we're looking at. Most everybody has never invested in a startup unless you're an angel investor or a venture capitalist. Yes. We have a crowd fund going for our company, and we need to raise quite a bit of money. But that is something new. Most people have never done that. And that's where our show that we have we teach people what to do when you're asking a venture capitalist or an angel investor or someone in private equity. What do you need to ask them? Because you need to have your pitch deck. You need to have a lot of things in order to talk to these people in order to get money. And yes, it's into Q2, possibly beginning of Q3. It all depends on me and how well I can get the idea out into the right ear.
Well, we will absolutely put, because you have that link that we talked about before we went live, and we will put that in the comments, a clickable link where you can get involved at the crowdfunding level. And of course, if you're interested in more, Jessica's about to share her contact information. But I really want to encourage people to really take a look at this. It's so unique. I Googled. I mean, there's nothing. Well, first of all, I don't have a personal relationship with anybody that might have something similar. But what I love about it is that you're really thinking about the long term, and you're thinking about the people. It's a technology, but it's, as it put here, empowering workers, building financial security. And that in and of itself is hugely different and has an impact on so many people. Think of the things, think of the applications you already have. You've got a 5-year plus plan of how this can change lives and empower people. And I just think it's beautiful. The first time you told me about it, I was mesmerized. And I just thought this is a phenomenal way to tap in. I didn't know they were called Gen A, but Gen Z and Gen A, yeah, they don't want to talk about paper. They want to talk about technology. They understand crypto, and they understand how important technology is in money, not just crypto, but overall. So
we will be going to crypto soon, more than likely. This is a bridge to get people to still use getting used to digital currency. And then, yes, more than likely we'll bridge over. But the people that we work with do not like our payment processor. We've got to follow all SEC guidelines. So they said no crypto. And we're like, hey, no crypto.
No crypto right now. But there's other money. And that's what you're teaching them.
The one thing that you did mention earlier about not having cash and with a valet that separates FISK mobile tipping from all the others. And we're working with the payment processor to make this happen to where you could scan the QR code and not be a FISK member and send them money through Apple Pay and Google Pay. This has never been done. All the other platforms are closed. You have to be a member. And we are going to open that up for people to be able to accept money from somewhere else.
I love it. So good. So many cool things that you're doing and working on, Jessica Dawson. All right. Tell them the best way they can find out more about you. And again, we'll put the full link of how you can get involved in the comments below. But how can they reach you right now if they're interested?
They can reach me on LinkedIn. We have the fiskmobile.tech it's fiskmobile.tech. You can go there and look at the app and look at some of the graphics that we have up. There is also the WeFunder account. If you go to wefunder.com and search the 55th degree, now that is the parent company that made FISK Mobile Tipping. That is the 55th degree. And you will find FISK Mobile Tipping, and you will see our pitch deck. It is updated continuously. And Nicole, my co-founder, is up. You can see her, but we're going to change videos out because we're constantly polishing up everything that we do every day. There's always room for improvement. And I look at helping out people and improving their lives with the mobile application and something that's never been done before.
Never been done. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Jessica. Again, you can go to fiskmobile.tech, or you can follow that link in the comments below to get to Jessica, or go to LinkedIn, or go to WeFunder and put in 55th degree, and we'll put all of that in the comments below. Thank you so much. We did it. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for this year for you, and I know FISK Mobile is going to change lives. I truly believe that. So thank you so much for being on the show. Y'all reach out to Jessica. You know you're interested. I'm interested too. We'll see you guys later. Bye.